All right, everybody, welcome to episode 5 of the Weekly Gridiron. We're your hosts, Adam,
Dante,
and
Luke.
We are here to predict Week 6 today. Hard to believe we're at Week 6 already. We're going to recap Week 5. Luke has his stardom, sit-em. Dante has his good, bad, and ugly. I have my fantasy leaders. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. Starting with tonight's game. Yes, we're recording on a Thursday this week. Thursday Night Football, Prime Video, Prime matchup. Commanders versus Bears in Chicago. The Bears are debuting the all-orange uniforms with the orange helmets. Can't wait to see them on TV. And I'm going to start with the picks here. You can call this an upset. It's not my upset of the week, but I'm going to take the Bears at home. The Commanders have looked like a mess to start the season. And even though the Bears have, with Fields not passing the ball a lot, all that stuff, I think they're going to rebound this week. And I'm going to take the Bears to win.
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to go with the Commanders here. I think the Bears have just been a travesty offensively. And is Dotson playing? Because I know Dotson...
I believe he's not.
Dotson's not playing?
He was out last week.
I'm pretty certain he's not.
Well, I think either way, this is a good week for him to be out because they're playing the Bears who, besides Roquan Smith, they really don't have any big names on defense unless I'm forgetting somebody. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Commanders here. I don't know. I'm just very high on them. You guys know I've picked them in an upset for multiple weeks. But yeah, I'm going with Washington.
You did forget Penn State legend himself, Jaquan Brisker.
I did forget JB.
Yeah. And I will say, while I am picking the Bears, I am praying Terry McLaurin, this is finally the week he goes off because I need him to on fantasy. He's in my 12-man league, and he's not done much for me. So I need you to go off, Terry, please, for one time.
I'm going to pick the Commanders coming off of the week where, in an interview, Ron Rivera said the difference between him and the rest of the teams in the division is just simply quarterback, which apparently lit a fire in the locker room, which was not so pleasant. I'm going to pick the Commanders because I believe Carson Wentz is going to go out there and have a good game to kind of stick it to Ron Rivera. But I do think they could lose, and if they do, well, we all know Ron Rivera's on the hot seat. We'll see how much longer he lasts.
Very true, very true. Next game we've got is the Ravens at the Giants. This is at MetLife. Giants have been off to a hot start, so have the Ravens. I can't believe the Giants are 4-1, but this is the week I think they get another loss to their record. I just think the Ravens are too good. They looked really good on Sunday, and I think they get another key win here, this one being on the road. I'll take the Ravens to win this one.
Like you said, Adam, I can't believe the Giants are 4-1, and furthermore, I can't believe I'm actually going back and forth on this pick, But I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna roll with the Ravens here.
Yeah, I'm pulling something up right now. So I was curious while I was thinking about this game. I was like, why do I have a feeling that the Giants in recent history have played well against the Ravens? But I just looked up the history of the two teams. And not particularly well. The Giants are 5-2 in their last 7 against the Ravens. Well, actually, they've only met 7 times. But either way, they lost the one time they faced Lamar, now that I'm looking at it. So I have no reason to pick the Giants, even though they're a fun team. I like Saquon. I actually kind of like the Giants this year. Daniel Jones has never really annoyed me that much. We all love Saquon. I think Brian Dable was the right hire. But the Ravens are just too good. Lamar is still good, although he had some throwing inaccuracies the past week. In my opinion, after watching that game, he and Mark Andrews are currently a top 3 quarterback receiver duo in the league. That's a hot take when you really think about it, but I fully believe it. The other two probably being Kelsey, Mahomes, and I suppose right now you have to say Kupp, Stafford, although that's tough.
Maybe Hurts and or Allen and Diggs probably.
Probably Allen and Diggs.
What about Pickett and Pickens, dog?
Yeah, well, on the rise.
Baker and DJ.
But back to the point, Lamar, as long as Mark Andrews is healthy, always has a shot, and he is healthy. They just had an impressive win, even though both teams are entertaining. It's going to be a good game, but give me the Ravens.
All right, fair. First clean sweep of the episode. I'm happy we didn't start out with a clean sweep. I like the disagreement right off the bat.
Did we all pick the Ravens?
Yeah, we all did, but I'm saying I was the only one to pick the Bears.
I was tempted to pick the Giants, but it doesn't feel like a pick that I need to make.
I was thinking about it too, but I have a better upset, and y'all are going to see it.
But I would love the Giants to beat the
Yeah,
Ravens.
I would too. Imagine
that would be cool. Yeah.
Imagine they go 5-1. I predicted them to go 5-12 this year. So,
It's still in play.
it's still in play.
It is still in play.
All right, moving on.
As is 1-16.
Divisional matchup that actually already happened once this year. It is happening for the second time and final time, thankfully, for Colts fans.
13-4 is still in play for the Steelers.
I mean, yeah, it is.
So.
True. And what are the Panthers right now? 1-4, so
Yeah.
13-4 still in play for us.
Equally.
Steelers Panthers Super Bowl. It's
Yes.
happening.
Could happen.
All right.
It
Anyway, Jaguars and Colts.
Somewhere in the multiverse.
These two have already met once this year, and it did not go well for the Colts. I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. I don't think it's going to go well for the Colts again. I think it'll be closer this time, considering it's not in Jacksonville, but I'm going to take the Jaguars to win. I feel like they've owned the Colts as of late, and they're going to keep that up.
I thought this was going to be a disagreement between us, but I'm also going with the Jags. You know, I've been very high on the Jags all year, especially whenever they're playing the Colts. And it might be a closer game, might be like a one possession, but like it's not going to be 24-0 like it was last in their first meeting. But yeah, I'm going with the Jags here. I like them.
I'm actually going to disagree, even though my head says the Jags, 'cause I think they're slightly better. I just don't see that this season series becomes a sweep for Jacksonville. I understand I was foolish for not riding with Jacksonville when they were at home against the Colts, but I just don't see this as kind of being the Colts losing both of these games. It's completely fair to look at the season matchup and predict it to be a tie. So in the same spirit, I'm going to pick the Colts, who I think are looking for a bounce back after. I mean, I forget. Did they win last week?
Well, yeah, their last game.
Okay,
was the
well,
Broncos.
more or less, they're looking for just a bounce back of spirits of anything. Jonathan Taylor has been hurt.
Actually
or
scored a
not
touchdown
playing
this
good.
time.
Right? Yeah. Oh my gosh! Right, that was that game. That's why I couldn't remember it.
Yeah.
Because
So,
nobody ever will again.
They won, but would have lost to 30 other teams. So the Colts are going to look for a good. I don't know if I want to pick the Colts now after that Monday night. Was that Monday night or Thursday night? Thursday night.
It was the Thursday night game, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like them, but whatever. I'll stick with my gut.
Always go with your gut. That's what I've learned. Next game we've got, Luke, I'll let you get it started because it is the Patriots and the Browns in Cleveland. Luke, kick us off.
I'm going with the Patriots. Browns have looked okay at times, but otherwise, they've lost games that they should win. And one thing about the Patriots, which I've always loved, we do not play down to teams. Sometimes we'll lose to teams that we should beat, but we'll never, ever lose to teams that have no business beating us. Like the Lions last week, they came in as a number one offense in the NFL. I can talk about this later when we recap, but we beat them 29-0. We just don't lose down to teams. So I think in the same spirit, we're not going to lose to the Browns. Bill Belichick is going to have another good performance, and it's really just as simple as that. Bailey Zappe's going to continue to play just fine. I don't think he's thrown a single interception yet.
You want me to go? All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Luke, I really hope you're right, but I don't know. I just have a feeling the Browns are just gonna handle business at home. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not too familiar with the Patriots. How's the Patriots' run defense been this year?
I'm not completely familiar either with it, but let me think. It was good this week. Some other games. Green Bay, it was good. Pittsburgh, it was good.
I think this.
I think it's fine at least.
This is just their big real test, run defense wise,
Yeah, that's
because
fair.
they're playing one of the best offensive lines and, in my opinion, the best running back in football right now. I'm going back and forth on this game, but I'm sticking with my gut. I'm going with the Browns,
That's fair.
but I could definitely see the Patriots winning this.
See, run defense could be where it's at, but I do think we'll be able to stop the passing game. We have, in my opinion, the Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jack Jones,
Yeah.
who currently has, I think, 3 interceptions or something, and Matthew Judon has 1 interception not 1 interception. Judon has 1 sack in every single game.
Yeah, dude, he's a beast for sure. I like Judon a lot.
He is going to have another career year after having a career year last year. So, with that being said, I think we could, if we do shut down the run defense, which we definitely could, I'm sticking with a W.
Before I make my pick, I want to announce something I just saw. I don't know if this is official yet. It's off topic from the NFL world, but there are rumors that Cartoon Network could be shutting down.
No!
L.
Regular show!
I never watched regular show.
Oh, bro, it's like...
We watched it. I mean, we watched it a bit. when we
Yeah,
were
a little
kids.
bit. Not that much.
Oh, dude, it's one of my favorite shows, like, ever.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll always see clips of it.
Anyway, back to football. I got to rock with one side here, and I'm going to tend toward an argument that I made last week. The Pats, they lost in overtime to the Packers, but they put up a huge fight. And I said if they can almost beat the Packers, they can for sure beat the Lions. They beat the Lions 29-0. So I'm going to say if they can beat that Lions offense that had pretty much everybody but DeAndre Swift healthy, they can beat the Browns.
But
Did Amon-Ra play?
Amon-Ra did play.
but in the same vein, who just beat the Packers? The Giants.
Well,
You know?
it don't matter. It's like
That's
one
fair.
TikToker I saw said once, Bailey Zappi is hot and ready like a Little Caesars pizza. So I'm gonna rock with the Patriots in this
He's
one.
definitely hot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The next Tom Brady? Question mark. I did see. One of my friends sent me a tweet. I never saw the direct source. It's probably things completely taken out of context, but I'm pretty sure we haven't guaranteed Mac Jones to start the starting job back
Jeez.
when he comes back.
Oh, my God.
You know what? And I said whatever. That's fine. He doesn't have to feel comfortable. Bailey Zapp has been as good as we needed him to be, and if we have a new Tom Brady on our hands, there is exactly one coach in the entire NFL I would trust to make that risky of a decision. That's Bill Belichick. So I obviously think Mac Jones should be the starter. But hey, if we have a new Tom Brady on our hands, I'm here for it.
Fair point. Anyway, the next game we've got is an NFC versus AFC matchup. We've got the Bengals heading to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Dante, I'll let you get started with this one. Who do you got winning?
I got the Bengals. You know, I mean, obviously I'm not too high on the Bengals after their past, 5 weeks. But yeah, I think this is a game they should win. I mean, Joe Burrow's going back to his alma mater. So yeah, I think the Bengals are going to come out on top. It's going to be close. It's going to be low scoring. I'm feeling like a 16-13 Bengals win here.
That's fair. You mind if I go at him?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, boys, am I wrong, or is this the first, since his departure, Andy Dalton revenge game?
Yo.
Is it? Is Jameis Winston going to play?
I'm not sure.
I hope he doesn't, bro,
Did
because that'd be
Dalton,
sick.
or did Dalton play them with the Cowboys?
No.
I don't think he did.
I think that was, wait, when was this? Last year? When was
Was it
Dalton?
last year?
When was
Or was
Dalton?
it, yeah, it was last, right?
Because I knew it was like Dak, Cooper Rush, Ben DiNucci.
Right. Okay.
I have no idea.
GOAT.
Yeah, Ben
Ben
DiNucci.
DiNucci.
Well, after hyping him up that much, I'm still not picking the Saints. I'm picking the Bengals.
I mean, yeah, it is.
So,
Like,
it's, if that is true, it's gonna. Sorry, Adam. It's gonna kind of end up being like a Baker Mayfield revenge game instead of a Matt Patricia revenge game over the Lions, which happened this week. So, give me the Bengals, who I think will be looking for a statement win after just some light wins the past couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to triple down. I'm going to go the Bengals here. They're coming off a rough loss to Baltimore on Sunday night where they had the game won, but they just gave Lamar and Justin Tucker way too much time. I mean, they forgot Justin Tucker can literally kick it from 85 yards and it would probably be good. But, I mean, I think they'll bounce back this week. The Ravens' offense is a little banged up right now. You've got Jameis doubtful. Michael Thomas might not be back yet. Chris Olave is in concussion protocol. Kamara's not looking like himself. So I feel like even though they have a great defense, the Bengals defense is going to have a good game, and I think they're going to get a narrow win here. Anyway, to the next game. Dante, we'll let you get this one started because it is your game. Go right ahead.
yeah, so you got the Bucks coming to Acrisure. I don't know. I'm not too confident in this game for many reasons. First, I'll start with our defense. Sucks. Our offense, our offensive coordinator, Matt Canada, trash. But you know what? The Bucks are going to win this game. You thought I was going to fucking pull that out of my ass. Absolutely not. No, the Bucks are going to win this game, sadly. I just want, dude, like, these next, 3 or 4 games, I'm not even worried about us going for the win. I just want our rookies to develop. I just want Kenny to look better. Even though he has looked pretty good, I just want him to get more experience playing because after this year, that's when it's really going to start picking up, and that's when we actually need to start winning. Pickens is looking good. I need Deontay to start playing better. This is going to be a tough task, but everybody remembers the last time Brady came to Pittsburgh. That color rush game. We all know what happened. But yeah, I think the Bucs are going to come out on top, even though they are 3-2 and Brady has looked kind of lately. But yeah, I'm going Bucs.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to take the Buccaneers in this one. Brady has looked kind of to start the year, but I feel like, if you remember that Sunday night game against the Chiefs, the offense looked much better. I think this is finally going to be the week where Brady has his good game and the offense, I'm not going to say puts on a show, but they play well. And I think Brady's going to get his much-needed confidence win here, and the Bucs are going to win.
Yep, I just looked it up. Including playoffs, Tom Brady is 10-3 against the Steelers. I happened to be at one of the games wearing my Tom Brady jersey. That was one of the 3.
He's actually 9-4. Jesse James caught that football, but it's fine.
That's tough, man. We can argue about that for hours, but 10-3 is the mark, and I think he'll make that 11-3.
System quarterback.
No offense, but I don't have a lot to say about this game. It's not going to be particularly close.
Very fair, very fair.
Okay.
All right, moving on. We got the 49ers and the Falcons. I believe an NFC Championship game rematch from years and years ago when Kaepernick was still there. But anyways, I don't think this is going to be much of a game compared to when it was back then if it happened. 49ers played well past 2 weeks. I think they're going to keep it up. Give me the Niners on the road. This should be easy for them.
Yeah, for sure, Niners.
Yeah, I'm going Niners as well, and I'd like to see a big game out of George Kittle this week.
I would love to see that as well. Anyway, keeping it quick, next game we've got the Jets and the Packers. The Jets have actually looked surprisingly well these past 2 weeks. They are 2-0 since Zach Wilson got back onto the football field. Looking to make it 3-0 maybe. Wouldn't it be funny if the Packers back-to-back weeks lost to both New York teams? Not New York City, I mean. Buffalo, I guess, counts as a New York team.
Buffalo is the only team where their stadium is actually in the state of New York.
Really?
Yeah, MetLife's in New Jersey, barely.
Yeah, it is. That is true.
Interesting. Well, anyway, I don't think the Packers are going to lose 2 straight to New York, so I'm going to take the Packers in this one.
Yeah, Packers as well.
Yeah, dude, that's tough. I don't know. I'm really thinking about it. I could really see the Jets winning this, dude. I mean, they dropped 40 on the Dolphins.
Not? Do it.
No. I'm going Packers. I can't do that, dude. I'm sorry.
I mean, comparing their last 2 opponents, the Steelers, and then, the Steelers with split Mitch and Kenny, and then the Dolphins with Teddy until he got hurt, and then Skylar Thompson.
Teddy, I'm pretty sure Teddy didn't do a single thing. I think he had 0 fantasy points, so...
Well, okay. Anyway, Aaron Rodgers is a much tougher matchup compared to all those 4 QBs they went up against, so I'm going to take the Packers here.
That's fair.
Moving on, speaking of Skylar Thompson, he and the Dolphins, yes, he is starting this week. If you saw the Weekly Gridiron's Instagram post last night. If not, follow us on IG. What are you doing? But I posted some NFL news updates, and one of them was Skylar Thompson will start this week. He is starting against the Minnesota Vikings. They're hosting Minnesota. The 4-1 Vikings, who have looked very good this year under new coach Kevin O'Connell. And I'm going to pick the Vikings to go 5-1. I like Skylar Thompson, but at the end of the day, that Vikings offense is really good, and I think they're going to take advantage of the QB situation in Miami, and they're going to get a win.
Dude, that's just... Vikings are a sneaky team right now.
They are a sneaky team.
Nobody's really talking about them. Do they have a chance? They're 4-1 right now.
They could absolutely... They should win that division.
Yeah. Dude.
I mean, think about it. They already beat Green Bay once. They beat the Bears once. I believe have they beaten the Lions already? I don't know if they've played the Lions yet. But in a division where they
they have.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Right?
Yeah, you're right. They have.
I would think so.
They did, yes. In the division, they're already 3-0 against their division. In a division where you play the Lions twice, at worst, they should be 5-1 at the end of the year against that division.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll let you guys make your picks, and even though I know who you're going to take.
Yeah, I'm going Minnesota for sure. I mean, with the question mark for the Dolphins at quarterback, I think there's no question. You got to go Vikings here.
Yes, go Vikes, especially since Dalvin Cook has looked much better recently. And it is such a Dolphins thing to do, to start 3-0 and become 3-3 I mean, who would have thought? Obviously, I had an inkling that something like that would have happened. Of course, we would have seen what the Cards would have done without Tua's injury, but the world may never know. So, it's such a Dolphins thing to do, to lose 3 games in a row after starting 3-0. With that being said, that's not the only reason why I'm picking the Vikings. I would just pick the Vikings in this game just because I like the Vikings this year. So I'm picking the Vikings.
All good points. Anyway, moving on. We've got the Panthers and the Rams. First game without Rule, but, I mean, it's the Rams. So, you guys just want to do our 1, 2, 3 thing? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Rams.
Did you guys notice I didn't say anything? For my upset of the week,
Stop it.
it's time to keep pounding. Life without Matt Rule is here. I'm not kidding, Dante.
I know you're not. That's why I'm acting like this.
Steve Wilkes is here to give the Panthers a win. We're going to win on the road. I saw something this morning, okay? The Panthers this season, at a 1-4 record, have scored 13 more points than the 2-3 LA Rams. 93-80, we've outscored them this year. If J.C. Horn locks up Cooper Kupp, we actually have a shot. I'm not going to lie to you.
Big F.
That is a big if.
That's a big F.
And, bro, I love J.C. Horn. I love the...
Yeah,
dude,
also, because he operates so much out of the slot, it's not that simple.
All right.
But
Well,
sure.
if we win,
Why not?
next show, I'm going to have a field day with you both.
Yep, sure, why not?
I mean, yeah. I would too, you know. I'm going to have a
Yeah.
field day if we beat the Bucks, you know. But, like...
I'm going to have a normal day when we beat the... All right, if we're playing.
Cleveland.
It's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant because we're going to win.
Cleveland is irrelevant.
Cleveland is always
Does
relevant.
Ohio exist?
No. Top things to do in Ohio. Leave.
Mom, if you're listening, look away. But yeah,
Big
I'm
Ohioan.
I'm picking the Panthers. I am so excited. This is the first time I've been like genuinely excited for a Panthers game in a while. Steve Wilkes is a Charlotte native. He's motivated to get in here and get this Panthers team motivated to play football.
P.J. Walker masterclass.
Yeah, P.J. Walker is starting, but P.J. Walker, I'm pretty sure, is undefeated as a starter in his NFL career.
He's him.
He is him.
He is Cooper Rush.
His last start, he beat the Cardinals. Cam Newton was in there, but P.J. Walker was the QB1 that
Cam
game.
Newton was not back.
P.J. Walker is here. He has arrived.
Yes, sir.
Top 5.
All right, shall we move on? Give me the Panthers. I know you guys take the Rams.
Sure.
Hey, bro, I'm rooting for you.
Why
I really
not?
am.
Why
Dean,
not?
I got to go against you for this week, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our dog is a Rams fan.
Yes. Next game, Cardinals and Seahawks. At, what do they call it? Lumen Field? Is that
I
what it's called?
guess, dude. I don't know.
I still call it CenturyLink. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really overthinking this one. I mean, Geno Smith has been him this season, but I'm going to take the Cardinals. They've looked really good. They almost beat the Eagles last week. I think they're going to get a win here.
Yeah, Cardinals have looked really good. However, give me Geno Smith and the Seahawks at home. Geno Smith has been him all season, and he's going to continue to be him. Kyler Murray is a fraud. Seahawks.
I
Give
could
me
I could see the Cardinals winning this or losing this game, low key. I can.
And in fact, I was hoping you would pick the Cardinals, so I would be the only one to pick the Seahawks. But now I'll join you. I think Geno Smith is better than Kyler Murray this year. Not talented-wise, not... I mean, that might be a little insulting, but not, like... He's not plain and simple better, but he's playing better right now. And DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, James Conner might be hurt. Why not? You know, home in Seattle, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know what? Why not? Riding with the Seahawks.
Luke, Peter, Spit.
All right, fair. I was thinking of switching up, but I'm going to stick with my gut. My gut says Cardinals, so I'm going to roll with it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Now for potentially what could be the game of the week.
Game of the year, gang.
The
Broncos Colts Part 2.
No, it's not that, unfortunately, but it is the Bills and the Chiefs at Arrowhead. 2 4-1 juggernauts. Who are we going to pick? I'll let y'all start.
Luke,
I know who I'm picking, but I want to see what y'all say.
go for it, gang.
I am picking the Chiefs. Where is this game? Arrowhead?
It is.
That's all I need to know. Like we established earlier, my top 3 receiver quarterback duos are are in no particular order: Kelsey, Mahomes, Diggs, Allen, and Lamar Andrews possibly. But I'm putting Kelsey, Mahomes over Allen and Diggs, just like I'm going to put them over them in this game. Chiefs at home, that's all I need to know, baby. Pretty much 2 even teams, but give me the Chiefs.
You know what, Luke? I was really thinking about going with the Chiefs. I was pretty set on going with the Chiefs before.
Did I change your mind?
You did.
I did.
You did.
I did.
The Chiefs gave up 29 points to the Raiders last week.
That's a good argument, the whole points thing, yeah.
They gave up 31 to the Bucks.
Yeah.
24,
you have a good argument.
24 to the Chargers. 21 to the Cardinals.
What have the Bills given up recently?
Not much. Hey, bro.
I was going to say, yeah.
You're further proving my point. And, dude, the Bills have dropped 38, 23, 41, 31, 40. I mean, that was preseason. That was 42.
Hey, the Panthers beat them they shut them out in the preseason. Just want to add that.
Oh, that's wonderful. Your little moral victory.
They beat my Steelers 38-3 last week. And you know what? Them beating the Chiefs this week is going to make me feel a little bit better because,
fair enough.
Spoiler alert, the Bills are winning the Super Bowl this year. Give me the Bills over the Chiefs. Lock it up. Matter of fact, lock of the week. Give me the Bills over the Chiefs.
Lock of the week.
That may be an overreaction. This is not my lock of the week.
Why not?
But I'm taking the Bills here for sure.
You know what? Hold on. Let me first say that the Bills winning the Super Bowl is as predictable as anything, just like Luka winning the MVP. And guess what? Neither will ever happen.
Did you say yourself winning the MVP?
No, Luka, like Luka Doncic.
Luke, you will win the MVP.
Yes, I will win the MVP.
Here's him.
In every league, including professional pickleball.
Gang.
As supported by Tom Brady now. He did not go.
All right, Dante, set up a table and let me jump through it. I'm rocking with Bill.
I am so happy to be minority Chiefs picker here.
I was debating picking Kansas City.
However,
I went along what history rides. What we've learned from this matchup in the past 2 years. The Bills win in the regular season.
I was about to say this.
The Chiefs win in the playoffs.
I was about to say this.
That's how it works.
But this year changes. Bills Super Bowl. They will beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in the AFC Championship.
I called it. Anyway, yeah, I'm rocking with the Bills. I think it's going to be a very close and incredible game, though. I'm hoping it is.
Just say those words back to yourself. Oh, I debated picking the Chiefs. Just sounds silly to me.
I'm betting against Patrick Mahomes. I don't know how well that's going to go, but I'm betting against him.
Fellas, who was a part of this Chiefs team the last time they played that is no longer a part of them now?
Tyreek Hill.
Who saved the game for him?
But, I mean, then again, the Chiefs have proven this year that they could play ball without Tyreek. They've done well without him. That man, Travis Kelce, has been him. For my fantasy team especially, I've had people hitting me up left and right wanting Kelce, and I've turned everybody down. I've said I won't give him up for anybody in fantasy right now.
Dawson Knox better.
Oh, yeah, okay. Also,
and the Bills are going to be even better once they get CMC.
Ian Thomas better.
Also, an unmentioned factor, Andy Reid better.
Andy Reid is better than Sean McDermott. That's fair.
True.
So, all right, let's move on from this game.
This could be a great game as well. And as much as I wanted the Chiefs and Bills on Sunday Night Football, I mean, they were last year during the season, but this game is a very good substitute. Even though it's your traditional matchup between these two divisional teams, and sometimes you're like, oh, these two again. But this year, there's a great storyline behind it. The 5-0 Philadelphia Eagles host the undefeated Cooper Rush. One undefeated streak will end. And like I said last week, I was wrong, but I think I'm unfortunately going to be right this time. I think Cooper's undefeated streak is going to end. I'm going to take the Eagles. They've just looked like the best team in the NFC. That defense has played super well. Jalen Hurts has played super well. They had a close game last week. I think it'll be a close one again this week, but I'm going to take the Eagles to win.
Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles too. But, on a side note, to go back to what we were just talking about, could you imagine a Bills-Eagles Super Bowl with those fans, bro? Oh, my God.
America doesn't have the infrastructure for that.
Bro, light poles will be going down.
A Phillies World Series and an Eagles Super Bowl.
They would have to start greasing up
Parlay.
poles now.
Book it.
Swear.
Book it.
book
Yeah.
it, parlay.
The cheesesteaks are going to be going everywhere. All right, Luke, make your pick.
Man, I don't know.
What?
I'm gonna go with. Yeah, it is that. It is that difficult for me.
I'm joking. I'm messing with you.
I'm gonna go with Philly, but I think the Cowboys' defense is gonna be the biggest. It's gonna be the biggest test they have had so far. There's a part of me that wants to say that the Cowboys' defense is gonna be too much, but the Eagles' defense is good too. So I think the Eagles very slightly have the edge in this game. I think it's going to be a close game.
I agree with you. But moving on to our last game, it's my favorite game of all. What will the Broncos do to disappoint their fans this week? We've got Broncos country not riding against the Chargers.
As Richard, why can't I remember his name? As Richard Sherman said when he was watching this on Thursday Night Football, Broncos country, let's score, because they haven't been doing much of that.
Very true.
Did you see after the pregame or after the postgame interview, Russell Wilson snuck a Broncos country let's ride in there?
Oh my
Broncos
God.
country, let's ride.
That was sad.
But now I think since we didn't do it for real for the Panthers Rams game, we could do a real countdown. So let's do it. 1, 2, 3.
Chargers. Do you remember at the beginning of the season, people were like, all 4 teams are making the playoffs.
Yeah. And now,
including me, I said that myself.
Now only 2 of them might. Maybe even 1 if the Chargers.
No, the Chargers are good.
The Chargers, I think, will make
I'm of
it.
the belief the Chargers are a good team.
Broncos, I'm not sure on, and Raiders, man, they're 1-4, but th're a darn good 1-4 team.
But see, non-believers in what you just said were either Raiders are great, Broncos stink, or Broncos are great, Raiders stink, and both kind of stink. So
Yeah.
All right, Dante, good, bad, and ugly. Give it to us.
All right. So for my good, I have Josh Allen versus the Chiefs. About to go off. I have Jay Jetta, Justin Jefferson versus the Dolphins. Then I have the Chargers defense versus the Broncos. All good. For my bad, I have Jonathan Taylor versus the Jags. Then I have Andy Dalton versus Cincinnati.
all right.
And then I have the Steelers pass rush versus the Bucks O-line. And for my ugly team, guys, I think they're just going to play mediocre, going to have like a 10 for 17 stat line. I'm going Kenny Pickett versus the Bucks, sadly. I could see him having a touchdown, though,
Yeah.
just saying. Zach Wilson versus the Packers.
Yep.
And Marcus Mariota versus the 49ers.
Yeah, I agree with all those.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's my good, bad, and ugly.
All right.
Good picks. Luke, you want to do your start and sit 'em?
Yeah, I did not have one last week, so nothing to recap. But for this week, week 6 in fantasy, for quarterbacks, I say start Tom Brady because he has been better recently than he was in the beginning of the year. And no offense, Dante, he has a very, very friendly fantasy matchup this week in Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah?
And his weapons,
Is he?
and his weapons are starting to get healthier, so I'd safely start Tom Brady. With that being said, I would sit Zach Wilson, even though he has been good since coming back, so it might be a little tempting, but he's due for a rough game, and I think it's almost a lock to happen against Green Bay. With that being said, waiver wire pickup for quarterbacks is Geno Smith, who's rostered on 70.6% of leagues and averages 19.6. For your running backs, I would start Ramondre Stevenson. Not only has he been great the past couple weeks, but now Damian Harris is hurt, which is pain. But it's fine because it's Ramondre Stevenson season, and I would absolutely trust him with a start, as I am doing in some leagues. He's going to be great. I would sit, and I'm sorry, Dante, Najee Harris.
That's fair.
He now has less of a role with Kenny Pickett. He had double-digit scores in week 1, 2, and 3, and I think is off 8 and 7-point weeks in fantasy now. And he's also doesn't help that he's facing the second best run defense in fantasy. I also am of the belief they're going to have to throw a lot in this game because they'll be playing from behind. And your waiver wire pickup in fantasy for running backs is J.D. McKissick, who averages 9.7 and is rostered in 43.7% of leagues. Your start for wide receiver is Jamar Chase. Everyone is frustrated that he hasn't been better. He's been just fine, averaging like 14, but he's only had like 12 and 11 the past couple weeks. But he's due for a huge game, and he has a good matchup this week against the Saints. Yeah, Saints. This week, sit Marquez Valdez-Scantling, which might be obvious, but he had 15.3 without a touchdown last week, so there's temptation to get ahead of the curve and play him this week. Just don't. It's a good defense in Buffalo. He's not going to replicate that score. And waiver wire pickup is Brandon Ayuk, who's rostered in 77.1% of leagues and averages 8.8, who could have a growing role in the offense with Jimmy G back. Speaking of a growing role in that offense, start George Kittle this week, who has been untrustworthy, but when I tell you, he has a great fantasy matchup versus the Falcons this week, who have allowed an average of 17.4 for tight ends this week. Kittle is due for a good game. It's going to happen. And sit Hayden Hurst, who has had 2 good weeks in a row, 13 and 18, I believe, but that's off the back of 2 touchdowns, and he has a bad defensive matchup this week in the Saints. I know I just said it was good for Jamar Chase, but it's different for touchdown. It's different for tight ends, and in fantasy, it's not a good matchup for him. I would not start him. And lastly, your waiver wire pickup for tight ends, is David Njoku, who's rostered in 80.7% of leagues and averages 11.3. I'll see you next week to see how all those turn out.
All right, well, while we're on the topic of fantasy, how about I give you guys the leaders from last week's games before we just recap some games and finish it up. We have a few ties this week, including a tie at the top spot. For our honorable mention, have y'all heard of the name of Diami Brown? If not, you might want to take notice.
Don't believe so.
He's on the Commanders. He had 24.5 against the Titans. He's actually, I think, the guy Amon-Ra St. Brown called out. So he delivered. So take notice of him. At the number 15 spot with 25.4, we had Nick Chubb. At the number 14 spot, 25.9, we had Cooper Kupp. Number 13 spot, 26.1, Dalvin Cook. Number 12, 27.2, Derrick Henry. Number 11, we have a tie for 27.4 between Tyler Lockett and Mr. Cameraman himself, Devontae Adams.
Jeez.
The latest Raider receiver to be charged with something. Number 10, with 27.66, we have Jalen Hurts. And number 9, 27.7 for Breece Hall. Pretty good waiver wire pickup if he's not on the team in your small league somehow. Number 8 with 30.3, we had Josh Jacobs. He's been balling out lately. Number 7, 30.32 for Justin Jefferson. Number 6, 30.48 for Patrick Mahomes. And number 5, 32.1, Dante Lookaway, Gabe Davis of the Bills.
He balled.
He did have a very good game. Number 4, 33.5 for Travis Kelce. At number 3, 34.08 for Taysom Hill.
Yep.
Taysom Hill, I believe he had 4 touchdowns.
I think so, yeah.
He went off.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Number 2, another one, Dante Lookaway. Josh Allen had 35.16. And for our winner this week, 2 people tied atop with 35.9. Leonard Fournette and Austin Eckler. Both had 35.9 this week, and both are the shared leader for Fantasy Week 5.
Boys, I have not really breaking news, but a quote from Mr. Matt Canada in his latest press conference.
I am mid.
Close. We have to score points. Bottom line.
Duh.
Shocking development.
Hey.
Wow.
That's a bold statement.
I just want to say one thing, Dante. I found out on Sunday, Matt Rule said a quote saying, "We have to score more points." The next day.
The next day he got fired.
It is happening.
Not trying to preview anything, but he could be getting fired tomorrow.
Put Ben at OC. Trust me.
Put Dante Catanzari at OC.
Bro, I've won so many retro bowls. Put me at OC.
Oh, yeah.
I could do
me
it.
too.
Please. Jet sweep to Claypool.
in
I
fact,
could call
actually,
that.
I'm just not looking, Dante. You have Josh Jacobs in fantasy. Let's talk later.
Put Peter Griffin at OC. He knows more. The GOAT, Peter Griffin. All right. Let's just recap some scores real quick.
Actually, hold on.
Big
You know what?
Family Guy people.
Bold thing right here. How about we do the first ever live trade on WG? What do you think, Dante, about
I don't know, dude. I just traded for Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs
Didn't I trade you, Jacobs?
Yes, bro. And he went
For
off.
Jerry Jeudy
Dang
and
it.
Damian Harris. Damian Harris is hurt.
No,
but
dude.
no, okay,
What the
That's
hell?
fine.
I'm sorry.
Well, let me look. Anything better? That's a little bit of a low ball. No, all right. I can't offer anything better.
Trade of the century. Fleeced, if you will.
What do you think about everybody on your team for Tony Pollard?
I'll think about that one.
All right. What were we getting at?
I was just sending something to somebody. Go ahead and keep talking.
No,
trades
we're there's nothing on the table.
Okay,
So,
hold on.
getting into recapping some of these games after Adam's done sending a text. While he's doing that, I'm going to talk briefly about how this week is going to be pretty standard, especially since it's currently Thursday when we're recording and Thursday when we're going to have to post, and I have class in 25 minutes. But next week, hopefully, we're going to finally try to figure out how to get this on Apple and Spotify and whatever else. I have some other friends who do some podcasts. They might be able to help me out, and hopefully we can have a guest on soon. Unless somebody is offered to work with us and literally just come to the studio when we're going to be here, we can talk to somebody about that. But assuming that's not going to work for any of our friends, my best idea is just to get somebody on a FaceTime, and whenever they talk, hold them up to the mic. So if anybody wants to guest, considering that views have been lower, if anybody is listening to this right now and is 41 minutes into this episode and hears this, be the first one to text and you can guess next week or whenever we figure it out.
We'll just take calls, bro.
Yeah, or that. It doesn't
That
have to
could
be the whole
work.
episode.
That could work. I meant to post on the IG story today that we were recording, so maybe I'll do that next week. All right.
But yeah, here's your incentive to listen deep into this episode.
Yes.
I could get, boys, this is live on the air. I could possibly get Steelers by Joey to make an appearance on WG.
Oh, yes.
I could-
That would be huge.
The legend himself.
Or somebody in the Steelers by community. Who knows?
I'm down for that.
Kevin Dot season, maybe?
Oh,
Steelers by
Kevin
Joey?
Dodd season?
I don't think he's available right now because I think he's in the Army. But there's a Patriots fan page with like 170,000 followers. I talk to that guy all the time on Snapchat, so I could probably get him eventually.
Nice, dude.
I could get a Panthers fan on, but you probably aren't gonna want Panthers fans. We'll see. Okay. Anyway, let's keep it going. Let's recap some games. I'm going to do what I've done. I like this format a little better where I just run through the rest of the scores and we all go in depth on our game. Well, I don't know how much I'm going to say about the Panthers. But let's start it out. Colts win an embarrassing Thursday night game against the Broncos. These two should never grace prime time at the same time ever again. Embarrassing. Giants beat the Packers in London. Bit of a shocker. Chargers narrowly escaped the Browns by 2. Texans beat the Jaguars. So I thought that was a little bit of a surprise. Bucks beat the Falcons by a touchdown on a roughing the passer call, which looked like a normal tackle that kind of ruined the Falcons' chances at winning. I mean, what Tom Brady wants from the refs, Tom Brady gets from the refs. We've learned that and seen that. It's the truth, is it not? Anyway, Jets blew out the Dolphins 40-17. Vikings beat the Bears at home by a touchdown. Commanders lost to the Titans by 4. Bears and Commanders are two teams that play tonight. Saints beat the Seahawks by 7. Eagles won by a field goal to keep their undefeated season alive. Cowboys and Cooper Rush beat the Rams by 12. Ravens won on a Justin Tucker field goal, which I'm pretty sure would have been good if the upright was literally 5 feet wide.
Yeah, that's true.
And the Chiefs beat the Raiders in possibly the primetime game of the year so far. So let's jump into our games. Luke, I'll let you get started with the Lions and the Pats. Go ahead.
Yep, okay, not much to say because I really couldn't be happier. Bailey Zapp played just fine. The defense was perfect against the NFL's, I'm doing air quotes, highest scoring offense. Completely shut them down. So, very happy. Coaching staff showed up. Matt Patricia, no complaints. I wish Damian Harris didn't get hurt. I obviously wish a speedy recovery to him. But I'm very interested to see Ramondre Stevenson's season. I think he could be the future. Honestly, I think he could be better than Damian Harris. He's been playing better. But that's okay. What is wrong with my computer right now? Anyways. Yep, okay, so not much to say at all. I'm just very happy with how everything turned out. So, we can move on already. One of you two can talk.
Yeah, pretty simple. pretty similar to what Luke said. Not much,
except the opposite.
Except the exact opposite. I mean, it's exactly what I expected to happen. I mean, I expected us to score at least a touchdown, but that didn't happen. Man, like we put ourselves in pretty good situations. We put the Bills into like third and like medium, third and long. But we just couldn't stop them there. Like we shut. I mean, we didn't shut them down. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't get completely just bullied like first down after first down. We made them compete.
The Bills' first possession, they were like 3rd and 15 on the 2.
And they threw a 98 yards. Like,
they just happened to throw a 98-yard touchdown.
Like that can't happen. But our defense was playing pretty solid. Our run defense looked great. Dude, it all comes down to our offense. And we got like one pressure. We got one quarterback hit on Josh Allen, 2 pressures. Like that can't happen, especially against in my opinion, the best team in football right now. Like that can't happen. But I mean, our defense did look good the second half. Gave up 7 as opposed to our 31 we gave up in the first half. But we can't win if we can't score points. Shout out to Matt Canada. It's just my headphones just fell off.
I was wondering what that was. All right.
But yeah, it was just a very disappointing week. However, it was expected.
Shout out to this. The Canadian flag.
No, not shout out. Destroy Canada.
Okay. I'm not gonna have to say much about the Panthers next week for sure. Thank God this was the last game of the Matt Rule era.
Oh yeah, congratulations on the firing of Matt Rule, Adam.
Thank God.
Congratulations on the firing of Matt Rule. That was
You're free.
Very good day.
Yes.
And not promoting Ben McAdoo.
Yeah, I'm shocked, but however, we fired our defensive coordinator and like a lot of other coordinators, so I don't know why Ben McAdoo's still there. But okay.
To be fair, he hasn't had that much to work with.
Jimmy G played really well. Jeff Wilson played well. He had a rushing touchdown. Debo, he did have a touchdown, but he only had 2 receptions for 20 yards and 2 rushes for 12 yards. So we didn't do that much. Baker, he's getting a little better every week. He still had an interception, but I'm just laughing at the fact that they have like the full names instead of like people's real names. So like instead of Jeff Wilson Jr., it's Jeffrey Wilson, and
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Wait a minute, did that say Brock?
Jeez.
Did that say Brock Purdy made a rush? A quarter, whatever.
Iowa State legend?
Yeah.
Iowa State Cyclone legend Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant.
For the Panthers, it says Philip Walker, 5 for 6, 60 yards. I mean, they call him PJ. I guess it's Philip. I'm gonna look that up. What's his real name? PJ Walker. Philip PJ Walker. Okay. Well, what's the J stand for?
Probably like
Jones. I don't know.
Philip Jr. Maybe.
Maybe. Anyway, CMC, 14 carries for 54 yards. Did have a rushing touchdown, so that's good. It looks like that was our only touchdown that we got. The man Eddie Pinheiro, 3 for 4 on field goals. Dude's going off. Johnny Hecker had 2 punts and 20 yards. Gotta love it, Hex. But anyway, all's well that ends well, or all's bad that ends bad for the Matt Rule era. Can't believe we paid that guy for 7 years and we still owe him $40 million. But I would rather watch him get paid on the couch than get paid to be coaching
on
the team.
The sideline. Although,
I will say for Rule, if you're going to get fired, this is probably the perfect time for you, considering all of the college jobs that are open. You've got Wisconsin, Nebraska, Arizona State, a bunch of others. He'll get a job somewhere in college, I'm sure of it. So, I guess that wraps it up for this week.
Penn State Beaver.
Penn State Beaver. Didn't Matt Rule used to coach it? Did he play at Penn State?
Yeah,
Matt Rule was associated with Penn State.
Did he really?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Huh.
So, yeah, and I will say, to end the show, Sean Payton, I'm praying you have mutual interest because I have interest in you to be the head coach, my friend.
You have interest in him, period. In every realm of human action.
In every realm of human endeavor. All right. That's going to wrap it up for episode 5. Thank you all for listening. It is Adam,
Dante,
and
Luke.
We will see you guys next week for episode number 6. Thank you.